Crafty Gemini. I post weekly videos right here on my YouTube channel, and in this hand embroidery video, I'm teaching you the split stitch. Alright, so in this video we're going to learn how to do the split stitch, which again is another straight line similar to the back stitch and our running stitch. It's great for outlines, for text, and it gives it more of a raised texture on top. So we'll show you how to do this. Here we have our samples already of our running stitch and our back stitch. So if you're joining us new to this embroidery series, make sure that you click on the embroidery hoop graphic, and that will take you to the full video playlist where all my different lessons will be listed there for you to watch. So now we're going to move on to the split stitch. So let's make a straight line so we have something to follow. Just taking a ruler and a fabric marker here. And you can use these stitches freehand, or you can draw yourself out these little lines just so you can practice staying in line. All right, so we're coming up from the back. So I already have my thread on the needle. There's a knot on the back on the end of my thread, and I'm coming up from the back. And now I'm going to take a stitch forward, whatever your stitch length is going to be. I usually keep mine to a little bit less than 1/4 of an inch. They can be bigger, smaller, whatever you prefer. And I'll take that stitch and bring it down. Now when I come up, instead of coming up in front of it like you would for a running stitch, all right, or instead of coming up way in front like you would for a back stitch, this time we're going to come up right in the middle of the one that we already did. So do you see where that needle is coming out? Right in the middle of my stitch. I'm going to pull it out through there, and then I'm going to come in and go forward with a stitch. For the next one, I'm going to come up again in the middle of this new stitch that I've done. So I'm going to come up somewhere here right in the middle. So this one takes a little bit longer if you're going to use it for an outline stitch, because you want to make sure you're splitting that thread right down the middle. Otherwise, when you bring it out, it's going to look like your stitch is a little to the left or to the right. So it's a little bit more precise and it takes longer. Again, I'm coming forward, taking a stitch. And when I come up, I'm going to come up in the middle. And sometimes you have to hold the thread. If you're using several strands of embroidery floss, it might be a little easier than the craft thread. Take another stitch, come up in the middle of it, and continue to do that all the way down your line. And that is your split stitch, because you're splitting your thread right down the middle with each stitch that you take. All right, so here's my finished sample line of the split stitch. To tie it off, I'm just going to take my last stitch and just come down. And then I'm just going to flip it over, pick up my last stitch with my needle and bring this through to create that loop there. And then I'm going to just feed my needle through once. Once is enough, but I like to do it twice. And then when you tug on it, you're going to create your knot. I just use my other hand to make sure it's nice and snug. And that's good. Trim it off, nice and secure. It's not going anywhere, and you have your full line of split stitches here. Now, these three, the running stitch, the back stitch, and the split stitch, are great for outlining things. What I like about this one is that you don't see the pronounced stitch. In this one, we have spaces in between them in the running stitch, so you can definitely see those. In the back stitch, they're kind of more of a continuous line, but I can still see the individual humps of each stitch. And on the split stitch, you get this really nice, like raised, almost ropey effect where you can't tell where each stitch begins or ends. So it's a fun little stitch to try. Give it a try, and you'll be ready to use it in your next project. So that's it for this hand embroidery video tutorial. I hope you enjoyed learning how to do the split stitch and that you'll give it some practice so you can use it in your next project. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.